When your cat curls up on your chest and starts to purr, you feel it. That low, steady vibration, that warmth. And you think she's happy, she loves me, everything is fine. But what if that purr meant something else entirely? What if, in some of those moments, your cat wasn't telling you she felt safe, but that she was scared, or in pain, or trying to hold herself together, and you just didn't know? Here's what I need you to understand. The purr is not a happiness signal. It never was. It's something far more complicated than that, and by the end of this, you will never hear it the same way again. Point 1. Purring is a self-regulation tool, not an emotion. Most people assume purring works like a dog's tail wag, a signal pointing outward, meant to communicate feeling to someone else. But that's not what it is. Purring is produced by rapid rhythmic muscle contractions in the larynx firing at between 25 and 150 hertz. That's a physical mechanism, and it's one your cat can activate voluntarily, meaning it's not a reflex triggered by joy. Think of it less like a smile and more like deep breathing. You don't only breathe slowly when you're calm, you breathe slowly when you're panicking and trying to come back down. The action and the emotion aren't the same thing. Point 2. Cats purr when they're in pain. This is the one that stops people cold. Veterinarians have documented purring during labor, injury recovery, and in the final hours of life. Cats who are dying purr. Why? Because that rhythmic vibration between 25 and 50 hertz has been shown to promote bone density and tissue repair. Your cat's body may be using the purr as a kind of internal medicine, a way to stay structurally intact under physical stress. So when your cat purrs in your lap and you've just noticed she hasn't been eating right, don't let the purr reassure you. That sound is not always a green light. Sometimes it's the opposite. And here's what most people miss. A sick cat who is purring looks, on the surface, exactly like a content one. Point 3. Context is the only key. Here's the thing. Purring isn't bad. It isn't good. It's neutral until you read everything around it. A cat purring while kneading a soft blanket with relaxed eyes, slow blinking, a loose body, and an upright tail. That's contentment. That's the version you know that's real. A cat purring while hunched in a corner with dilated pupils, flattened ears, and a rigid posture. That purr is distress. Same sound, completely different meaning. This is why understanding your cat isn't about memorizing one signal. It's about reading a full picture. The purr is one brushstroke. The body is the whole canvas. What does your cat's body look like right now when she purrs? Have you ever actually checked? Point 4. There's a specific purr your cat uses only on you. Now this is the part I promised you at the start. Because it isn't all complicated. Some of it is extraordinary. Researchers identified something called the solicitation purr. It's a purr your cat produces specifically when she wants something from you. Usually food, attention, or comfort. And it's acoustically distinct. It contains an embedded high-frequency cry, right in the 300 to 600 hertz range. That's the same frequency as a human infant crying. Your cat learned, over thousands of years of coexisting with humans, to hide an urgency signal inside a sound you already find soothing. You can't quite put your finger on why that particular purr feels different, more insistent, more hard to ignore. That's not your imagination. That's your cat being honestly a little bit of a genius. So if you've ever felt like you had to get up and feed her even though you weren't ready to, she did that on purpose. You were being gently manipulated by one of the most sophisticated interspecies communication tools in the animal kingdom. If you're finding this useful, consider subscribing. There's a lot more about cat communication that most owners never hear about. Point 5. Kittens purr from birth, and the reason matters. Kittens begin purring within days of being born. They can't meow and nurse at the same time, the mechanics don't allow it. But they can purr while feeding. So the purr becomes their first conversation with their mother. A continuous signal that says, I'm here, I'm feeding, I'm okay. The mother purrs back, and that exchange, that vibrating wordless back and forth, is the first bond, the first language. When your adult cat purrs with you, she's reaching back into something ancient, something that came before words, before domestication. She's communicating in the oldest way she knows. Does that change how it feels when she does it? It should. You love your cat. That's not the question. The question is whether your cat actually feels it. Because here's what most owners never find out. Cats don't experience love the way we give it. They experience it the way they're wired to receive it. And if you've never learned their language, you could be showing up every single day, and your cat is still waiting, still hoping you'll finally do the one thing that tells them you truly see them. These 6 things take almost no time, but they unlock something most cat owners spend years searching for without knowing what they're missing. And number 5, most people have never even heard of it. But once you do it, your cat will never look at you the same way again. Let's start with the one that happens before you even touch them. 1. Let your cat choose the moment. How do you usually start an interaction with your cat? You walk over, you reach down, you pet them. Seems natural. But to your cat, that's not an invitation. That's an ambush. Cats are not passive creatures. Every meaningful interaction they have in the wild begins with a choice they made, not one made for them. When you walk over and immediately initiate contact, you're skipping the most important part of the entire exchange the moment your cat decides they want you. Here's the shift. Walk into the room, sit down nearby, then wait. That's it, just wait. When your cat walks toward you, sniffs your hand, rubs against your leg, that's the green light. That's your cat saying, I'm choosing this. And a cat who chooses you feels something completely different than a cat who simply tolerates you. Start doing this daily and you'll notice something change within a week. Your cat will begin initiating more, not because they suddenly became affectionate, because you finally gave them the one thing they needed to trust the process. A choice. 2. Mirror their energy exactly. Your cat walks into the room calm and quiet. You immediately light up, call their name, reach for them, and they walk straight past you. That's not rejection, that's a mismatch. Cats communicate through energy as much as action. When you come in loud and eager while your cat is in a slow, settled state, you're speaking a completely different emotional language. To them, that sudden burst of energy reads as unpredictable, and unpredictable means unsafe. The daily habit is simple but powerful. Before you approach your cat, read the room. If they're calm, be calm. Move slowly. Speak softly. Lower your body. Match the frequency they're already on. When your energy mirrors theirs, something shifts in how they receive you. 3. Give them a warning before every touch. This one sounds almost too small to matter. It matters enormously. Before you pet your cat, before you pick them up, before you do anything physical, give them a 1-second warning. A soft word, a gentle exhale, even just slowing down as you approach. Cats have a nervous system built for survival. Sudden movement, even from someone they love, triggers a startle response. Over time, repeated startles create something subtle but damaging, a low-grade tension that lives in your cat's body every time you come near. But when you consistently signal before you touch, something changes. Their body learns to anticipate you without bracing. Their muscles stay relaxed. Their eyes stay soft. That 1 second of warning tells your cat, nothing unexpected is coming. You're completely safe with me. And a cat whose body feels safe with you becomes a cat whose heart is open to you. 4. Let them watch you do nothing. This one is going to sound strange, but stay with it. One of the most bonding things you can do for your cat every single day is simply exist near them without performing. No treats, no toys, no petting, no talking. Just you, in the room, doing your own thing. Here's why this works. In the wild, cats only fully rest near other living beings they trust without condition. Not beings they like, not beings who feed them. Beings they trust completely, with zero exceptions. When you sit in a room and your cat chooses to stay not because you called them, not because you have food, but simply because you're there, they are telling you something profound. You are safe to exist around. Most owners are always doing something for their cats, which is beautiful, but cats also need to see you just being, because a human who only shows up with something in their hand trains a cat to associate you with stimulation, not safety. Be boring sometimes. Let your cat watch. What happens next will show you exactly where you stand. Does your cat avoid eye contact with you? Flinch when you reach for them? Disappear the moment you walk into a room? You probably think it's just their personality. That's just how cats are, right? Independent, aloof, mysterious. One, you're making eye contact the wrong way. Think about the last time you looked at your cat from across the room. You probably held that gaze for a second, maybe two, waiting to see what they'd do. And maybe they looked away, or slowly moved somewhere else entirely. Here's what nobody tells you. In cat language, a long, unblinking stare isn't affection. It's a threat. It's exactly what a predator does before it strikes. And your cat, no matter how domesticated, still reads it that way. Every time you lock eyes with your cat and hold that stare without softening it, you're sending a signal that says, danger. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Next time your cat meets your eyes, slow blink. Let your eyelids drop gently. Hold, then open. Researchers at the University of Sussex found that slow blinking at your cat makes them significantly more likely to approach you. That tiny gesture translates directly to, I'm not a threat. You're safe with me. Do this every single day, and you'll notice something shift. Your cat won't just stop looking away. They'll start seeking your eyes out. Because now, eye contact means something good. 2. You skip the greeting your cat is waiting for. Be honest. When you walk into a room, what do? Most people either reach straight down to pet them or don't acknowledge them at all. Both of those miss something important. Cats don't process the world the way we do. They lead with their nose, not their eyes. Every interaction begins with scent. When two cats who trust each other meet, they touch noses first. That exchange says, I know you. You're safe. When you skip that and go straight to touching, you're bypassing safety. Over time, your cat learns to brace instead of lean in. Here's what to do instead. Every time you're about to pet your cat, extend one finger toward their nose first. Let them come to it. Let them sniff. Let them decide. When they rub their cheek against your finger, that's your green light. That's your cat saying, okay, I'm ready. You asked first. That 2-second habit changes everything. Your cat stops experiencing your touch as something that just happens to them. They start experiencing it as something they chose. 3. You're picking them up at the worst possible moment. There's a specific look a sleeping cat has that's hard to resist. Curled into a perfect ball, completely still, somehow even softer looking than usual. And so you scoop them up. But here's what's actually happening. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. During deep sleep, they are at their most vulnerable. They chose that spot because they felt safe enough to completely disappear. When you interrupt that, their heart rate spikes. And even if they settle later, something was recorded. That spot didn't keep them safe after all. Do this enough times and you'll notice your cat migrating. Under the bed, on top of the wardrobe, behind furniture. They're not being antisocial. They're protecting the one thing they need most from the one person who keeps taking it from them. The fix is the easiest one on this list. When your cat is sleeping, walk past them. That's it. Let them have it. That restraint communicates something powerful. I see you. I'm not going to disturb you. You're safe here. And the trust that builds from that, it shows up when they're awake. 4. Your play has been teaching them the wrong thing. Has your cat ever sat completely still while you waved a toy in front of them, staring at it like you were mildly embarrassing yourself? You probably thought they weren't in the mood. They weren't bored. They were unconvinced. Cats are hardwired hunters. Their brains run on a specific sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, catch. That loop isn't just instinct. It's how they process stress, burn energy, and feel genuinely fulfilled. When that loop gets interrupted or never triggered at all, something builds up. Restlessness, anxiety, a low-level tension that has nowhere to go. And here's the part most owners miss entirely. A cat who never gets a real hunt doesn't just become physically understimulated. They become harder to bond with. Because the most primal need they have is going unmet and you're the one standing there holding the toy. The fix is changing how you move it. Drag it away from your cat, not toward them. Let it hide. Let it freeze, then dart unpredictably. Move it like something worth catching, not something you're trying to get them to notice. When their pupils go wide and their body drops low, you've activated something real. And in that moment, you're not just their owner. You're the source of the most satisfying experience their brain knows how to have. 5 minutes of that, done right, builds more trust than an hour of the wrong kind of play. 5. You're touching them in the places they haven't offered yet. This one is subtle, and it's happening in almost every home. There's a specific order cats follow when they decide to trust someone with their body. It starts with the areas they control. The head, the cheeks, behind the ears. Those are the places a cat will offer first. Then slowly, if trust deepens, other areas follow. The belly is last. And it's almost never a real invitation. When your cat rolls over and shows you their stomach, most owners see green. They reach in, and within seconds, the cat's legs are wrapped around their hand, and the situation has escalated in a way nobody wanted. Here's what that roll actually means. It means your cat feels relaxed near you. It means they're comfortable. It does not mean, touch me here. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat's body. Showing it is an expression of ease, not a request. Every time you reach for it anyway, your cat learns something. That relaxing around you comes with a cost, and they start relaxing less. The fix is reading what they're actually offering. Pet where their face and body guide your hand. Let them show you where they want it. Stop at the first sign of tension, a flicking tail, a shifting ear, a slight stiffening of the body. When you honor those signals, your cat stops bracing for what comes next. They start melting into it instead. 6. You've never given them a moment that was purely theirs. Here's the one most people don't see coming, because it doesn't involve doing anything wrong. It involves not doing enough of one specific thing that costs you absolutely nothing. Most owners bond with their cats through action. Feeding, playing, petting, holding, and those things matter. But they all have something in common. They're all things you initiate. They all involve you wanting something from the interaction. Your cat notices that. And for a cat, being wanted too consistently without any space, without any quiet, starts to feel like pressure. In the wild, cats form their deepest bonds through proximity. Not touch, not play. Just being near each other with zero agenda. That shared space with no demands attached is what says in the cat world, I don't need anything from you. I just want to be here. Tomorrow, try this. Sit somewhere your cat usually is. Don't call them. Don't reach for them. Read something. Do whatever you'd normally do. At first, nothing might happen, but keep doing it. Because over weeks, your cat will start closing the distance on their own. They'll move to the same room, then the same couch, then right beside you. Not because you made them, because they chose you. And in the world of cats, that choice, completely voluntary, completely unpressured, is the closest thing to love they know how to show. So if your cat has been keeping their distance, now you know why. It was never about their personality. It was a message. Everything, the stare, the greeting, the silence, they're all part of the same conversation. Start listening. Start adjusting, and watch what happens when your cat finally realizes you understand.